Hey everyone, welcome back to Fake Nerds. I'm your host, Brian, and it's long been said that the creation engine that Bethesda uses for games like Fallout, Skyrim, and of course lately Starfield is outdated and needs to be updated. Well, we finally have a former Bethesda studio lead explaining their thoughts on the creation engine. So this is from Video Gamer, and it says former Bethesda studio lead explains creation engine will inevitably need to change one day, but switching to Unreal could sacrifice modding as we know it. So if you paid attention to the release of this Oblivion remaster, you know that the made they basically used the original game, built in the creation engine, remastered it through Unreal, so it runs like from Unreal, but with the creation engine underneath. So that's kind of what's being referenced here. It says Bethesda Game Studios' creation engine was massively overhauled for the release of Starfield, a game that didn't really set the world on fire. Since the release of the game, many internet comments have called for Bethesda to abandon its proprietary game engine and shift to the game's industry ever popular Unreal Engine 5. In an interview with Video Gamer, former studio lead Dan Nani explained that it's not as easy as simply shifting the studio to Unreal. After former Skyrim designer Bruce Neesmith explained that key complaints like loading screens are key to the Bethesda experience, Nani detailed exactly what it would actually mean for Bethesda to move to Unreal, and it wouldn't be a fix-all solution many gamers would claim it to be. Is Bethesda creation engine outdated? Speaking on an upcoming episode of Video Gamer Podcast, we asked Nani if the current creation engine 2 tools used at Bethesda are as outdated as gamers claim. The veteran game developer explained that anyone can make an argument in any direction, but that the shifting the studio to Unreal is a lot more hassle than most gamers can imagine. If you want to throw away your engine and restart, you have to go through the whole entirety of restarting. The developer said Unreal Engine doesn't give you everything out of the box. You have to build it. If you went Unreal's golden path, then yes, you have a dedicated team at Unreal who's supporting you. But when you're making a very specific game in a very specific way, with the systems that were built in a way that people are familiar with, it means that you have to change. You have to make changes fundamentally. It means that you're no longer on the golden path. And he explained that to make a Bethesda game with the same open-ended structure, the game relies on physics and the same focus on extreme modding. It would essentially be the same thing as crafting a whole new engine. As the developer explained, Unreal doesn't give developers everything. It also has its own core issues that many gamers have also complained about. Next thing you know, you're dealing with building an engine, and he explains the important questions is whether you gain the benefit of the future. That's the question you should ask. You're not asking about the game that you're going to launch right now. You're asking the questions of the game you're going to launch 5, 6, 7 years from now. If that's going to benefit from that as well. The developer explained that just like Unreal Engine 5 is an iteration of the original Unreal from the 90s, Creation Engine 2 is a major iteration on its predecessor, and it isn't a new engine, but it isn't an old engine either. There have been massive improvements since the first time of Skyrim and Fallout 4. There's always iterations, he explained. It's not like you throw away an engine, it's more like versioning. Creation Engine 2 is an iteration of Creation Engine. Unreal Engine 5 is an iteration of Unreal Engine 4, but if you start looking at what is Unreal Engine 5 versus the original Unreal, even down to its level design principles, they're completely opposite. That's just time for you. But you generally throw it away from scratch and start over. If you did so, you wouldn't call it 5432, you'd call it something brand new. Then he explained the creation engine isn't Game Brio, otherwise it would simply be called Game Brio. While some underlying technology may still be present, Bethesda engineers have done far more work to modernize the tool than many give credit to the studio. It's also worth mentioning that Bethesda is not a studio like most, unlike game studios like 343, now Halo Studios, which recently abandoned its own slice-based engine for Unreal Engine 5. Bethesda does not have the rapid turnaround time for developers. Unreal Engine 5 is very useful for contractors and newcomers, as the tools are almost industry standard. Bethesda developers have extremely long tenures at the company. Some devs working on Episode 6 started working on Morrowind. That's crazy. Some have been there even longer, and shifting everything to Unreal would mean training almost 500 people on the engine's unique quirks, causing potentially years of delays. So, there you have it. I mean, in order for Bethesda to completely overhaul their engine or start working on something new like Unreal Engine 5, they'd essentially be throwing away the years and years of experience that they've had working on their own proprietary engine. Is that good? Do people think that the proprietary engine is great or still outdated? Hard to say, but you can see from the company's point of view why I would be hesitant to just throw everything they've worked on in that engine away and try to learn and create within this new engine. Ultimately, I don't think people are ever going to be happy because I've heard a lot of people complain about how Unreal Engine 5 works itself. But what are your thoughts? Do you think Bethesda should go to Unreal Engine 5, or do you kind of agree with Nanny here where he says that it's just kind of like not worth it for Bethesda to go all in on a non proprietary engine given their history with their proprietary engine? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Other than that, I'm Brian. I'm a fake nerd, and this has been some real news. Make sure you subscribe to all of our channels, including Wicked Everything, Better Radio, Wicked Sports, and this channel, Those Fake Nerds. We'll see you in the next one.